Hello and welcome back. One of the difficulties of emergency remote teaching is trying to take the resources that you already have and move them to a digital environment. So for example, I have in front of me here a worksheet that asks students to label the parts of a, and maybe you have something similar. I could turn this into a labeling or a drag and drop activity in Google Slides, but I just had a teacher ask me how they could create such an activity in Schoology as an assessment. So that's what I'm going to show you in this video. So one of the things that I would do is I would look for, I'll say, a better picture. And so maybe you have your own picture that you have created, or maybe I could find a good one on the internet. So I found this one. And I actually like it because it could save me a little bit of time and it looks very well done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this picture and I'm going to use my snippet tool to just crop out the parts that I want. Now, you can find a picture on the internet, or if what you're doing is unique, you could have your own picture, and you do not need these boxes here, but it's going to make it a little bit easier for me to already have them. So I'm just going to save this, and I'll save it to my desktop so I can come get it when I need it. So I'll call it parts of a flower. All right, so then I'm going to go to my Schoology site, and I'm just going to play in one of my classes here. So I'm going to go add materials. I'm going to add an assessment. Just practicing. And we're going to make it worth 15 points. Actually, I take that back. It's going to be worth 11 points. We'll give it a category here. And submissions I'll enable, and I won't put a due date on right now. All right, so instructions. We'll just say type instructions here, and you can type whatever you need there. Okay, so I'm going to go through my assignment or my settings here, which are all fine, and I'm going to save those. All right, so over here we just did the setup and the questions. So the type of question that I'm going to be using now is going to be a label and image. And this is where you're going to upload the image that you have already created or the one that I just found on the internet. These are going to be the directions where I tell the students what to do. So label the following, or label the parts of the flower by dragging the correct label to the correct location or something like that. So we'll put that there. All right, so upload an image. So I made my flower image. Let's go find it and we'll drag it in here. So there's my image. So I like that. So I'm going to sit OK. All right, so there's my image. All right, this is the response boxes, which is why you don't need to have an image that already has boxes on that. If I went back to the label the parts of the flower, I could have picked something like this. That would have worked for me. I could have picked maybe something like this, where I used my snippet tool and I kind of cropped in there and did not get those words. But I obviously don't want to choose an image that already has the words embedded on it. All right, so the response box is just where the kids are going to drag their response. So here's response box 1, and you can see I'm just going to kind of drag it on the box that's already there. So I just liked that this image looked very neat and clean. So then I'm going to go through and I'm going to make it a response box for every choice that I'm going to have. So you can see this one moved over here. So we'll go through, and I'll quickly go through, and I'll add my last box here, 11. All right, so those are my responses. So now I have to put in the correct answers. All right, and the answers I'm going to put under possible responses. So I'm going to click on option, and I'm going to type one word per box here. So my first possible answer is the pistil. The second possible answer is going to be the stigma. The next possible answer, so I'm just going to create an option for each one of my possibilities. Okay, I went ahead and completed my options. All right, so I'm going to slide down a little bit now. So again, we inserted our picture, we created response boxes, we put in our possible responses and our options, And now I'm going to work on the correct answer setup. So you can see that my words are down here, and now I'm just going to drag them to the location so that the computer will be able to correct these. Okay, for example, the anther, which is right there at the tip, the anther and the filament make up the stamen. So I'll drag that over here. So I just need to take a second and drag all my answers to the correct box. All right, and the last one is the pistil. We'll drag that in. All right, so scoring type, I'm going to make that an exact match, and I'm done. So I'm going to click Save. So we can test it out by going to Preview, and this is what it will look like for students. They will then have to drag the pieces into the parts of the flower, and it will get automatically corrected by Schoology when you put out that assessment. What a cool and powerful tool, and very professional looking too. I hope this video helped.